Assalamu alaikum. Welcome back to my channel. It is Shireen Falasteen, and if you are new here, welcome. Today I am making homemade gnocchi, an Italian potato dumpling that will have you and your kids begging for more. I am pairing it with a creamy, cheesy sauce today, but you can pair it with anything. If you'd like to know how to make this, stay tuned. Okay, first things first, I'm going to be heating a pot of water with a tablespoon of salt before getting to my potatoes. So these are two huge potatoes that I have washed and rinsed to get all that dirt off, and I will be peeling them. Now, if you didn't wash it in advance, after peeling it, just give it a quick rinse in case there's any lingering dirt on it. Once I have peeled my potatoes, I'm going to be slicing my potatoes into 1-inch slices. Why? Well, it's going to decrease the cooking time dramatically. So instead of cooking it in a pot for 40 minutes or in the oven for 1 hour, these are going to take us a mere 10 minutes to cook. Guys, I'm a busy mom. Now watch me drop these into the pot dramatically, burning myself. I don't know why I didn't put this in with a spatula. Use a spatula. And within 10 minutes, these are going to be fork tender. So your fork should just start to pierce through that potato. After that, I am going to drain them and use them right away. Don't overcook them, guys. You do not want these to absorb too much water. Now, these are the most effective when they are used piping hot. They go through the ricer very, very seamlessly. What is the ricer? This, my friends. But I will get back to this in a little bit. So I'm clearing my work area because this is where I'm going to knead my dough. Now, if I could liken the ricer to anything, I would say it is a ginormous garlic smasher. So you put your potatoes in and out come these perfectly aerated strands of potato, no lumps. So you could do this with a fork, but it is going to be much more time consuming and maybe not as effective. This is a much more easy and fast way to do it. I'm going to be ricing everything before I go to my next step. Now, once those potatoes are riced, I am going to be pushing down the center to create a little well for my egg. Now, A, you could use 1 egg, or B, you can use 2 yolks. It's up to you. Both are the same. One is richer than the next, but honestly, I don't mind having 1 egg. So after mixing it up, I'm going to be pouring that into the center and adding the rest of my ingredients. So a teaspoon of salt and my flour. This is just all-purpose flour. And that's it. Simple as that. Put everything together and just smash it together like a 4-year-old would. And in fact, my 4-year-old and my 2-year-old did. So at first, it's going to feel very, very soft because, I mean, guys, we are playing with mashed potatoes here. And even the end result is going to be soft, but we just want to make sure that we add enough flour that it separates off of our bowl or our work surface, but not so much that our gnocchi gets weighed down and becomes too glutinous. Now, once I've added all of my flour, as you can see, the dough is coming together nicely and no more, guys. Yes, this will still be sticky, but we want this to be light as clouds. Okay. So I'm going to be adding a lot of flour on top and on the bottom, but that is not because I'm going to be kneading it into itself, but just to keep it from sticking to itself. Now let me share a huge time-saving hack. Instead of rolling out the dough with your hands individually, 1 piece at a time and then cutting it up, I'm going to be scoring my rectangle dough 1 inch for 1 inch with my knife and then cutting them away, saving me so much more time. I wish I cut these a hair smaller, but as you will see, there was so much going on around me. Now, onto a well-floured surface, I'm going to be rolling my log really well before cutting it up.
Mama, it looks like a little marshmallow.
Now, once your gnocchi is chopped up, I'm going to be using a gnocchi board. Now, this is $5 or $6, so it's very inexpensive. It is so cute to have because it creates the cutest grooves in our gnocchi. However, if you don't want to get this, guys, you can stop here and just have these like pillowy looking gnocchi, and or use your fork to do this in the same way that I'm going to be showing you here with the gnocchi board. Okay, so I have a technique that I've kind of like mastered in my head to get the perfect signature gnocchi shape by going diagonally down instead of straight down. I noticed that when I go straight down, I get stuck halfway and they turn out really ugly and flat. Whereas if I go diagonally, it continuously rolls off the board. And I'm going to continue to do this for the rest of my cute little gnocchis. Now, if you flour your gnocchis really, really well, you don't have to flour the board. And that's the best way to ensure that those grooves are really deeply indented into the dough. So again, really well floured gnocchi. As you can see, it's coated white, and that's gonna help it just roll off without it sticking to the board and also without sacrificing those grooves. Now, those grooves are very important because it helps trap the sauce that you're gonna put on it. Oh my God. Okay, now. Amazing. Like this, press your finger right here, and then roll down. Amazing. يلا نزلها. You might need to flour the gnocchi after this a little bit to keep it from sticking together, but lay them in one single flat layer. I'm going to be boiling these to cook them through. So at first they're not going to float, but then as they start to cook, they will rise to the top. As you can see here, they look so cute and very inconsistent because my children did help me out a lot. Now, once they are cooked, I'm going to be adding them to a hot pan with a couple tablespoons of butter to add a little bit more depth of flavor. This is totally optional. Both ways, it works fine. It tastes amazing. But this is going to give me a little bit of crunch on the outside while the inside will remain very, very light and soft. So you could do these in batches as it's coming out of the boiling water or all together. This is a brilliant way to add additional flavor to the gnocchi because as the butter browns, it infuses a very nutty flavor to the gnocchi, which is even better for us because it's going to complement that cream sauce. My little ones loved the gnocchi because it was so tiny and fun to eat, and they were just feeding each other, running around the kitchen and gobbling it up, which I wish I just let them do that and served it next to some grilled chicken and broccoli just as is. And I will do that next time. Look at that color. Crispy on the outside and soft and smooth on the inside. Whatever you put on this, it is going to shine no matter how simple it is. Okay, I am adding everything back to my pan and I'm gonna make the simplest cream sauce ever. We're not going to be making a roux because there is so much starch from both the potato and the flour that we put in our dough that it will thicken up the sauce very, very nicely, making this even faster to make. So I'm adding heavy cream, milk, and some cheese until it's all homogenized and very creamy. Now, note, every time you make a cheesy sauce, always make it a lot runnier than you want the final sauce to be, because whatever it is, whether it's macaroni or gnocchi, it will continue to absorb the fluids inside the cheesy sauce, and it will naturally continue to thicken as it's coming off of the fire and cooling slightly, so keep that in mind. So yes, it might look a little milky right now, but as soon as I turn off that flame, it will begin to thicken. Now, this is the point where I'm going to add my Parmesan cheese or my aged Asiago cheese. I like saving this for the end because it is a little bit saltier and I like to gauge how salty my cheesy sauce is. Attempt to make rich sauces like this less salty so that it does not overwhelm the palate. Keeping in mind, of course, that your sauce will get thicker, meaning it will get a tad saltier. So always make it a little bit less salty. And guys, there you have it. It couldn't be more simple. Now take a look at this glossy beauty. Now let me demonstrate how to make this dish even more family friendly by popping it into a casserole dish. I am using a smaller ramekin since we already ate, with some grated cheese and putting it under the broiler for that cheese to really crisp up and bubble over. I am pairing it with some broccoli and some grilled chicken. This is a perfect make ahead dish. I would suggest making your cheese sauce a little bit more liquidy, so that by the time you serve it, it is just the right consistency. I just want to jump on here really quick and say, recipe is in the description box. I am literally salivating watching this. I love to serve this straight from the broiler all the way to my table so my family can watch this bubble in all its glory. All right, guys, moment of truth. Dinner is served. I adored the lemony brightness of the broccoli and the smooth richness of the gnocchi. The pair contrast each other very nicely, bringing a total harmonious balance to this dish, so do consider pairing them together. Gnocchi is completed, and with that, I am done. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you in next week's video. Let me know in the comments down below what you would like to see as I start my Ramadan edition. Consider sharing this video and subscribing if you'd like to see more. And if you haven't seen my stacked cheesecake video, here you guys go. See you in the next one. Bye.